there's a line where you just need to execute.
Yeah.
You have to educate yourself, but you have to execute. I cannot one of the worst things in my mind is someone who just keeps learning and doesn't do anything with plans of doing. If you're just learning and on the sidelines and don't want to, that's one thing. Someone who's like, "Oh, I'm going to get started in a week. Let me just educate myself." And then a week later, it's like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable yet." You're never going to feel 100% comfortable. So just get into it. And that's not what we want to get to the point here. You just got to educate yourself. You don't want to over educate before taking action. There's that fine line. And I've told people, I had a talk with someone last week, and actually, it was my girlfriend. And I told her, I said, "You're at a point where you got to stop consuming. Like,
Yep.
I would cut off, I would stop listening to podcasts. I would stop listening to education. I wouldn't watch YouTube videos. I would just take all that consumption and put it into executing. You've been consuming for a long time and you're starting to execute. But if you put all that energy into your own thoughts, get your journal out, write your guests. She has a podcast. So write down the guests, plan the guests, go into all execution mode. And that's where I felt like she was. And whether she took it or not doesn't matter. I just felt that myself. And I feel that in the community and see that as well, Ron. So I wanted to bring that up before moving forward.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that look for a reason why not almost. Like they consume the education, they're like, get optimistic, and then they're almost like, okay, now let me talk to everyone who hasn't been successful in this, which is there's people in every single industry ever that haven't been successful in something. But that being said, like it's putting it, there's a time, like you said, to educate and learning skills, but there also is a time to put your head down and just get to work. And then you're going to have, then you have that back end education, Daniel, on what you did wrong, and you
Exactly.
learn the process, you learn this, okay, what did I screw up when I took this action? And I think that's kind of it's education within itself. You didn't just throw anything out there. If you're doing land and you learned how to price mail, you did this. You didn't just do it randomly if you took education, but you're going to still learn on the back end from your mistakes.
Exactly. And there's going to be things that come up that no one else has seen, or very few people have seen, or some people have seen. It's not talked about a lot. Things always come up. But I also want to talk about, Ron, the concept of mastering one market, one business, one niche, whatever it is, the concept of mastering land and not getting distracted with anything else until you get to where you want to go. Focus on one thing, the one thing until you get where you want to go, and then start looking elsewhere. And I think there's so much power to that. Like we get so micro focused on, oh my gosh, it's month 4, it's month 5, I've been doing this. It feels like eternity. This is stressful. Zoom out a little bit. In 20 years, are you going to think of that you did for 4 months and quit? Because 4 months isn't a lot of time. Like it's just, you'll barely remember that in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you did it for 4 years, that's a little bit different and you'll have success because of that. But you want to stay very focused on that one thing, that one market, that one business until you get there. You start putting half energy in, especially if you want to get out of your job as soon as possible or have goals or financial goals that you want to hit. You got to put the focus and trust in that one business for it to make it work. You start splitting 50-50 with this and another business or whatever it is, you start getting sidetracked. It is hard and your chances of success really, really drop. As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.